packing a picnic lunch to take to the local Jazz and Blues Festival. I love club sandwiches, but they can be a little messy, not a good picnic food. But I have come up with a club sandwich roll. All the good elements of a club sandwich baked into a loaf of bread. And I'm going to make the dough from scratch too. I've got a 3.5 pound chicken here. I've preheated my oven to 325. A very generous sprinkling of salt and pepper on the outside. Thyme is the perfect herb to go with chicken. You see it in chicken soup, in chicken stock, and today, in this roasted chicken. The fragrance of this thyme will permeate through the inside of the chicken into all the meat as it slowly roasts. What I like to do to roast a chicken is actually cover it for the first 20 minutes as it cooks, just loosely with foil. That gets the chicken heated up inside and starts the cooking process. After 20 minutes, I'll pull off the foil and continue cooking it until it reaches a temperature of 180 Fahrenheit. That takes about an hour and a half. But a half hour from when the chicken's about done, I want to start basting it with a honey mustard glaze. And I'm just going to puree this onion. About half a cup of honey. The pure taste of this local honey makes such a difference. I love the texture of grainy mustard, and it's also not quite as intense as Dijon mustard. This glaze is so nice with the local honey. It's so simple, and it's versatile too. I can put it on salmon or even a pork roast. It's a year-round favorite. What's important when you're basting, that last half hour, I baste almost every 5 minutes, and I make sure I swirl in these honey mustard juices with the chicken juices that are all in the bottom of the pan. Oh, it's going to be good. I'm good. You know what? In fact, I'm going to go really cut one out. All right, I'll get it for you. I love this club sandwich roll because of all the club sandwich fillings, but also because I love to make bread dough. And this is a focaccia style dough. I've got 2 cups of water. And just make sure that it's just above body temperature. That's the ideal temperature to start the yeast growing. A tablespoon of dry yeast. I've got 2 tablespoons of cornmeal, a tablespoon of that lovely local honey. Just this little bit of honey will promote the yeast growth and really get it activated. Just combine it a little bit. And salt, 2 teaspoons. Bread dough is one of those things that is very humidity sensitive. So depending on the time of year or the humidity outside, the amount of flour you have to add may vary. I'm going to start with 3 cups, but I may have to add up to as much as 4.5 cups. All right, I'll stop at 2 cups and add the olive oil. And this is really the other key ingredient in focaccia that makes it special. 1/3 of a cup. Olive oil in focaccia dough is really what sets it apart from other bread doughs, and you taste the quality in the olive oil. Now back to adding flour. Let me increase the speed just so I can see how the hook is pulling up the dough. The dough should start climbing up the hook as it mixes, but still stick to the bottom of the bowl. It shouldn't be like a tight ball around the hook. Now, I could continue kneading this with the machine, but I have to say, I love kneading dough by hand. There's something fundamentally gratifying about making bread by hand. It's such a cornerstone of our culinary culture. It's so important. It's our daily bread. And it's a soft, pliable dough, but what I need to do is develop the glutens, the proteins in the dough. And I stop adding flour when it starts pulling away all on its own from my work surface. And you can feel it changing under the palm of your hand. Now I shape it in a ball, a little swish of olive oil, and I'll let this rest for about an hour, covered and just in a draft-free place. and it'll double in size. Letting the dough proof or rise for an hour is just so important, not just for the yeast growth, but to really develop the flavor. And now it's time to check on that chicken. It should be coming along and about time to be glazed. Oh, this chicken is looking incredible already. And wait till I put the glaze on it. That browning is going to come out even more. Time to assemble the club sandwich roll. I've got my cooled chicken and I shredded it here. That'll be part of the filling. I've cooked off some bacon. I'll get my loaf pan ready. Standard sandwich loaf and cheese and tomato. I'm using sun-dried tomato. The sun-dried tomato has an intensity to it, but also, because it doesn't have water, like a fresh tomato, it won't leave air pockets in my club sandwich roll. And some medium cheddar cheese. I've gone to the trouble of roasting the chicken with its honey mustard glaze. I've made my dough from scratch, but for ease and convenience, you can easily make this same recipe with a store-bought barbecue chicken and a batch of pre-made pizza dough. It would work just fine. The risen dough, it's nearly doubled in size. Just a little flour. And this doesn't take a lot of rolling. I want to keep it the width of the loaf pan pretty much. I'm going to start with the bacon. This chicken is so juicy, and it's the honey mustard glaze that does that. And for me, that replaces the moisture that mayonnaise in a traditional club sandwich has. The sun-dried tomatoes, and then the cheddar cheese. And now, it earns its name, the roll. I'll just let this rest for half an hour to rise up again a little bit before I pop it in the oven. Then I'll have time to make a very picnic-friendly dessert.